I remember a few things.
Yes.
One of them was simply when the New Patriotic Party told us that they were going to their members at different levels of party organization to listen to them about how they performed so badly in the last elections. And that on the basis of the findings, the party will be reformed to meet the challenges ahead of it. Yeah. And this is why they claimed that they formed the Oquaye committee. Now, the Oquaye committee went around the country, listened to the members, wrote a report, and according to the party, it prepared only one copy of the report, only one copy of the report, not two. And that one copy of the report was presented to the National Council. So it will stand to reason that Michael Kwesi himself doesn't have a copy of the report which he wrote.
He may have a soft copy.
Yes, a draft.
He has a draft of it. A soft copy.
Yeah, but that's not the report which he presented.
Okay. But I cannot get a copy. He's a chairman.
Okay. But that is not the report. No, based on what they told us. Okay.
Yes.
Now, I'm just wondering why it has become so necessary to prevent the people who spoke, whose collective wisdom ended up in the report from seeing what they said. You get what I'm saying?
I get it.
The people spoke. Say, you told me this and that, but you will not see what you said. Very strange. Very, very strange. Okay? Now, they're talking about reforms, rebuilding the party and so on. Can that be done in secret?
Obviously not.
There's a certain assumption that, look, you won't see the report, but you rebuild the party. How do you rebuild this party without seeing the report, which forms the basis for the recommendations which will be implemented as the reforms in the party? I don't understand. Then there's common sense. Have you seen anybody hiding things about him or her which are good? Have you seen some before?
Not at all.
The things we hide are the things that are terrible, that we don't want people to know. So this report must be something else. What is in the report that should be hidden from members and the public? I don't know. Now, I recall that the NDC set up a similar committee, which came to be known as the Kwesi Pratt Committee.
Yeah.
And I remember the agitation from within the NPP for the Kwesi Pratt report to be made public. So as for the Kwesi Pratt report, they insisted that it should be made public. As for the Oquaye report, it's a secret. I just wonder what is happening. Then they've set up a 9-member committee which is going to make recommendations for constitutional review based on the report. But they don't have copies of the report.
So, but those parts will be published.
Also, parts of the report.
Oh, yes.
Parts.
Kwesi,
Who determines which parts are
Let me
published?
ask you something. If you went and spoke with President Akufo-Addo, and as part of his submissions to the committee, certain things bordered on national security, you cannot obviously not publish it. Information, especially that has not been, declassified. For example, we know the Boko conflict. He was a certain president, and all the things that happened. It would not be appropriate for President Akufo-Addo.
You are coming back to what I said earlier.
Okay. Then
The things we keep secret are the things which will be harmful. They are the terrible things that you don't want people to know.
Even to the country.
So you are coming back to that. In any case, yesterday, I read a newspaper report by some members of the party who are screaming that they are working at the headquarters, not at the constituency, and haven't been paid for some time. And we're just
but this is not sensitive. If somebody has not been paid, it's not sensitive.
No, I'm not talking about sensitivity now.
Okay.
I'm talking about the situation in the party.
They've not been paid.
Yeah, they're working at headquarters, they haven't been paid, and they're complaining.
Since when?
Since January.
Since January.
And in fact, one of them actually put on his Facebook.
No, it's all over social media.
Yeah.
So what he's saying.
One of them actually put on his social media page that you haven't paid us. We are working for no pay. And yet we've been able to mobilize resources for a thank you tour. And the person didn't understand. This on social media, I'm not the one saying it's an NPP member apparently working at the headquarters. Saying that you haven't paid us. We haven't been able to eat. We don't know how to look after our children.
So why have
we
the
are
salaries stopped
mobilizing
coming from
resources.
January?
Pardon?
Why have the salaries stopped coming from January or allowances?
So they are the only people who will know.
Okay.
I have some ideas, but I'm not going to say them publicly. You know.
You have some ideas.
Yeah, I'm not going to say them publicly.
Oh, God.
But so this is the state at the headquarters of the party.
Okay.
Okay. But that is not all. You know, as we speak now, and correct me if I'm wrong,
Okay.
the leader of the party now is the Mr. Stephen Intim, national chairman.
He's always been leader.
In election time.
He's always been leader.
Okay.
He's always been leader.
Even when you're in government?
Okay.
No, let Kwesi finish, or unless he wants to give me the time to come in.
No,
No,
my time is up. Well, just one
but
minute.
let me make
Otherwise
this
it'll take
point
us-
very, very
otherwise
You advertise for 10:30.
Otherwise, it'll take us off. No.
In fact,
It's actually
as of now,
9:55, yes.
as of now, the party ought to be looking at election 2028. So Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is no longer the candidate of the party.
Well, true.
In fact, he's in the same position as all the others that we hear want to be presidential candidate.
Yes.
He's the same position as, should I mention the names?
Brian, Ken.
All of them.
No, but he was a leader. Dr. Bawumia is the immediate past
Flag bearer of the
presidential candidate of the party.
Yes.
So in that sense, he's different from.
So he will have a treatment. which
No,
will be
but I
different.
have not said that.
But that's the point
No,
I'm
no.
making.
You were saying that
I'm
it's
saying
no
that-
different from, and I'm saying no. You cannot compare him to the rest because at least for now,
You should
on
be
record,
careful.
Dr. Bawumia is the immediate past presidential candidate of the party. That's for clarification. That's all. I've not said you should be given special treatment. No.
Okay. But your words are interesting. Immediate past
Yes.
presidential candidate.
Yes.
You should be careful not to give the impression that the party machinery is rallying behind him against the others.
Who is doing that?
You are going on a thank you tour. He is the face of the thank you tour. The whole party machinery appears to be rallying behind him.
Yeah, but he led the party in the last election.
No problem. I'm not quarreling with that. I'm
Okay.
not.
Yes.
I'm saying that the party ought to be careful not to create the impression that is a rallying point.
Right.
And that if that impression is created, it only worsens the situation in the party. Because as we speak, we know of a faction in the party which is saying that let's break away. There's nothing left in this party for us. Let's break away. Let's form a new party. That's a group. There's a group there. As we talk, we know that there are people who want to stay in the party, but who think that the party has strayed from its core values and needs to return to its core values. Okay? And there are people like Adwasafu who are insisting that Bawumia or nothing.
But he's entitled to an opinion.
Have I said she's not entitled to her opinion?
I just is a member of the party, and that's his view.
I'm not saying she's not entitled to her opinion.
And
All I'm saying is that that trend exists.
When something interesting comes out, then you want to.
No. I'm saying that that trend exists. That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
She's entitled to her opinion, but that trend exists.
Yeah, Augustine, please, if you can.
And then there are
seconds. Yes.
the Nyahota Macros and others who think that this party needs a severe cleanup. Severe cleanup. Should be cleaned with detergent. Proper. In order to make it attractive again.
Acid, mom.
Acid.
Okay, so
Maybe you're right.
I guess I would have to end it here.
So all I'm saying is that you guys manage your affairs well.
You see, it's very important.
Multi-party democracy is built with healthy political parties. Yes. No parties on the limb. And this morning I read the headline, I nearly collapsed. There's one of your MPs who, after 3 months, is saying that Muhammad has failed in the fight against Galamsey.
All right.
Did you read that headline?
Yes, I've read it.
I'm so surprised. Why are you
surprised?
Oh,
but I expect an NPP MP to go and say Mahama is succeeding in dealing with Galamsey.
No,
Are you expecting that?
Just shut up, because everybody knows. Because everybody knows.
Shut up,
No, Master, on this matter,
Shut up,
everybody knows that the problem cannot be solved in 3 months.
But
you know,
because of the propaganda that was waged by the NDC against the NPP in 2024, and they said that why couldn't the Kufuado place a state of emergency on the nation? Why could the Kufuado deal with Galamsey? They would deal with it in 3 months. They would deal with it. It's the thing they said.
so are we to take the statements which have been made by this your guy who was at Ghana Gas, what is his name? As the party position?
No, that's his team.
That's an individual position,
Yes.
and there are many individuals in the NDC
Right.
who also said things.
So let me just do
So
this.
why are
Let me
you
just do this.
dwelling on that?
They were MPs, they are ministers now.
Our time is up, unfortunately. So could you